Hello everybody and welcome back to the urban farm. So today we're going to apply that ground cover I talked about the other day using the grass clippings we collected. We're also going to plant some things to cover some empty spaces and plants that failed. Before we do that though, we're going to give everything a good watering, because once we apply the ground cover, it's going to be a really impermeable membrane between the atmosphere and the soil, so we want as much moisture down there as possible before we do that. So this is what we're going to be planting. We have some beets, some sweet corn, and some radishes. You notice, the radishes and the beets are USDA organic. The corn is not, but as I talked about in a previous video, USDA organic is really, it's a vague concept that doesn't really mean that much. The important thing is non-GMO. With the corn, you really want that. Due to the ethanol industry, the vast majority of corn produced is something, it's not even intended for human consumption, so you always want non-GMO corn when you plant that. Alright guys, so we got the ground cover laid down. It was a little bit wetter than I had hoped, so it clumped up in places, like around here. I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry out and reapply it. It smelled amazing, the sweet smell of nice fermenting microbes. It's a great composted grade. It's going to be very good for these boxes. I'll show you the rest of the boxes. Here's where I planted the beets and the radishes. I planted a row of radishes and a row of beets along the back of this one. They don't need much space, so if they do, we'll just pull them out and separate them. Now these are the pepper box. We didn't plant anything else, but I did apply the ground cover as it's already pretty cluttered in there. And the sweet potato basket, it calls for a sandy loam type of soil, so we did not apply any ground cover there. And this is the two corn boxes, the one that failed and had to be replanted. And this is the remaining ground cover. You can see it's so fluffy, very damp, and the smell is remarkable. This is some very nutritious compost. The downside of this is if you spray your yard with weed killers, mosquito repellents, or anything like that, do just bear in mind that your grass clippings will transfer that to your planter box soil. So if that doesn't bother you, that's go ahead and do it. If it does, when we decided to do this, we stopped. It was a hard stop on any kind of grass treatment for weeds, insects, pests, anything for a year and a half, just to purify it as much as we could. But in reality, it's probably not as bad as what you eat when you eat produce from the grocery store, no matter what you spray. So we've never gone on a field trip to the front before. The front yard's not really the showpiece of this urban farm, but I just wanted to show you our banana tree. And the bananas look a lot different than they did last year. They were like almost round, kind of like pear-shaped. So we're not sure how this is gonna turn out, but it looks like that's all we've got. I was kind of expecting us to have more. This was just one banana tree, and it froze here the other year, and it died. We thought we lost it. It came back as like 20. It's crazy. And this is a fig tree, and this is not really natural. I created it in a botany lab. Pretty much, it's a real fig tree root structure fused to a ficus bush shoot structure. So the roots for this, what's supposed to be a 5-foot tall bush, are made for a 40 to 50 foot tree. And so it produces like crazy though. I mean, they are everywhere. Our dogs like them. Hey Bella, you ready to come out and play? Let's go. Come on, Bella. Let's go, Luna. Come on, Bella. File out. Julie, Dato, y'all want to come out too? Let's go. Let's go. There you go. Have fun. So we're working on familiarizing these youngsters with the older chickens. Luna does not seem to like them as much as Bella. Bella's pretty indifferent. She's just like, whatever, man, do you think? But Luna doesn't really like new people showing up on the block.